Hi, all you CCC fans out there, and this is me, Mike Spider Slayer, bringing to you another video. This is going to be Classic Spider-Man Tales Episode 2. That is right. And this episode I am dedicating to Dark Avengers brother Mike, Dude of Rock. I know he's a big Punisher fan, and I was just flipping through some Amazing Spider-Man books, and I just saw this on the cover. I saw Punisher there, and I thought, well, let me do an issue that has the Punisher on it. And I thought, Mike might get a kick out of that. I know he's a huge Punisher fan, so we'll see how this story turns out. And this is Amazing Spider-Man issue 174. And here on the cover, it has the Punisher, obviously, and the Hitman. This book was made in 1977. I love these old books, man. They're like some old classic action movies, with the dialogue, and you can almost hear Stan Lee talking in the background, it's just classic stuff. I love it. It's just so funny. Just to give a brief instance on why I'm doing this series again is just it gives me a chance to read all my old Spider-Man titles. A lot of times we get books and we collect them and we don't always read them, or we read them and we put them away and we don't have a chance to reread them again. So this is a great reason why I do this show, and then it relives all these titles with you guys in case you guys don't have these particular issues. But yes, Amazing Spider-Man issue 174. Was it the best read I've ever read? No, but again, it gives me a chance to go back and relive some Spidey tales. It did have the Punisher in it. The Punisher was a fairly new character at the time. So whenever he makes an appearance, it's kind of a big deal, especially at this time in the time of Spider-Man. But like I said, this reminds me of an old 70s Starsky and Hutch type of, action show, if you guys are familiar with that old show. And the dialogue is a little cheesy, but it's just funny. In the beginning, we see the Punisher fighting some bad guys, trying to get, what's going on in the bad guy world. He's fighting these army guys, and they're all in this netting, and, and he's like, and he has these journal logs that he always says, and he goes, War Journal, entry number 414. Continued. The terrorist wild shot literally brought down the house. The catwalk over their heads collapsed in flaming ruins. And when the smoke finally cleared, there was only one left standing. And then it turned out it was a she. So while he was battling these people, he found out that it wasn't a man, but it was a female. Ooh. So what was going on there? I don't know. But that's how the story basically starts. He's just battling these random people, and it all leads to Spider-Man and the Punisher coming together. Next, we see the Hitman coming in contact with a representative of the People's Liberation Front. And basically, here we see that he's hiring the Hitman to take out J. Jonah Jameson, and he has to be delivered within the 48-hour timeline. That's the main plot of the story. Next, we see Harry Osborn and the future Venom himself, Flash Thompson. And in this issue, I guess Liz runs away from Harry, and Harry's taking it very hard. And here we see, a little skirmish between Harry and Flash. This is just funny. It's kind of a funny fight, and they're just like, take that back, take that back. They're like little kids, and Harry's just sitting there going, oh God, I can't take it. But he's been very dramatized by previous issues that I haven't read, but he's in therapy, and he's trying to, I guess get back to sane, I guess maybe because he was Green Goblin or whatnot, but I'm not exactly sure of that. But the next thing we see, we see J. Jonah here flirting with some chick, and the next thing we see is that the Hitman is lounging back on his chair, on the nice comfy chair, and we see here that he points the gun at J. Jonah, and he's basically saying, we gotta take you in. Well, next, his little assistant here, the witty one, decides to put it over the intercom. So we see that Robbie here is listening on the conversation, and the next thing we see is that Gloria is relaying the whole message upon the whole bugle, and the next thing we see is the hitman. He's here and he's like, I hear that echo. Of course, it's the intercom. He's like, I have to shoot it. And she's like, no. So he shoots the intercom. She's like, no, please. Again, it's all this like 70s stuff. It's so funny. And then next we see is that the Punisher found out what was going on, and he found out that they were going to, kidnap J. Jonah Jameson. So somehow Spider-Man and him meet at the same point. And, what's good about these comics in the past is that it gives you a lot of pages, and, and we see a lot of dialogue. So there's lots of story in the book. But Spider-Man here, he's just surprised that the Hitman is here. And you can see that they're doing the classic battles. And next we see that the Punisher is trying to get to the Hitman, but all of a sudden the girl gets in the way. And he goes, and even as I rush to support Spider-Man's play, and all of a sudden the girl gets in the way, he's like, ugh! He's like, no, I didn't see you there. So that's what stops the Punisher from helping Spider-Man. All of a sudden now we got the cops. They're coming in. They're coming in on the battle. And now all of a sudden Spider-Man gets distracted by the cops. And Hitman does some quick action moves here to stop Spidey. He kicks him off the desk. Boom, boom. And next we see tear gas is thrown into the mix, and that's going to stop Spidey. And that's going to stop the Punisher. Spider-Man makes a quick mask to put on his head, and Punisher has a mask to, filter in the gases. And then here we have another War Journal coming in, and it says, War Journal entry number 415 continued. My eyes were already beginning to water as I slapped on my gas mask. There was nothing I could do to help the Spider-Man otherwise. But apparently the web slinger didn't need my help. And so he just does another one of those war journals. Next, towards the end of the issue, we see that there's a two-man helicopter pilot that the Hitman used his remote control to get. And next we see, as he tries to escape, Spider-Man puts the webbing on Hitman's goggles. And we see that he puts the web on his gun. J. Jonah tries to escape. There's no escape for J. Jonah. He can't get away because the web slinger's trying to protect him. And he's like, you can't be kidding me, Jonah. We can't run away. We're trying to protect you. But next, Spider-Man is distracted once again. And he pounds Spider-Man right in his bad shoulder that he got from his last battle with the Molten Man. And he blames it on his shoulder. He's like, oh, injured my arm. Gives Hitman the edge. And next we see Hitman and Hitman and J. Jonah going off into the two-man helicopter. But we see the Punisher coming in through the back door trying to save the day. And Spider-Man's like, the Punisher! I almost forgot about him. And next we see that the Punisher is opening fire trying to stop the Hitman. And he's firing back. What's going to happen? And Spider-Man's like, Punisher, no, don't shoot. You can hit J. Jonah. Don't kill him. One stray bullet and it's all over. And at the end, we see next issue, Big Apple Battleground. And that will conclude the two-part series with the Punisher and the Hitman. So here you get a gist of the story. Again, 70s action flick. That's what this reminds me of. It's an entertaining read, guys. No major plot lines go along in this, no major epic events that happen, but it's just a good, fun comic book to read back in the 70s. So you know what? I give this one probably about 3.5, maybe 4 out of 5. You can't turn down classic Spider-Man books. They're awesome. They're fun. But that concludes this rundown of the Amazing Spider-Man 174. And for Dude of Rock and Mike, I hope, dude, you enjoyed this issue because I know you're a big Punisher fan, and I hope all you guys enjoyed it as well. So I appreciate you guys watching this particular video, and until Classic Spider-Man episode 3, I'll see you guys soon. And this is Spider Slayer saying thank you for watching the CCC, and take care, everyone.